Wilderness designation would mean no timber harvesting, no road construction, closing. Those two are already in place. That's what they're done taking care of now. But it goes on to say, no road construction, closing established roads, absolutely no motorized or mechanical equipment of any kind, chainsaws, ATVs, bicycles, or any wheeled apparatuses. It would also mean ramping up federal and state regulatory oversight on private lands and economic development in the surrounding areas outside of the wilderness. That's what
that definition has come from where?
It's come
Mr. Wilkins, probably, is that the definition of wilderness area, Mr. Wilkins?
Well, Brent's probably the technical expert, but
if you want me to respond, I can.
Well, y'all just come forward. If y'all just come forward, and Dave, we appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. So it's good to have more information. I'd like to welcome Mr. Brent Martin from the Wilderness Society and Mr. District Ranger Mike Wilkins from the U.S. Forest Service. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming. As you know, let me read what Highlands, just to remind the folks this year may not know. I asked him to send down another copy of their resolution. The Commissioners in Highlands unanimously passed the resolution. It says attached a copy of the resolution passed by the Highlands Town Board on June 2nd, 2010, supporting and endorsing the protection of the Overflow Wilderness Study of Nantahala National Park as the Bob Zonder Wilderness Area. This change will provide permanent protection for an important watershed without changing access or use by the public. By using this area for Bob's honor, we recognize his significant efforts made in the history of the conservation and protection of natural resources in this area. We appreciate the cooperation of Macon County Commissioners and the chairman in this effort. This is the difference. This is the resolution. It reads the same. The only sentence that's different in ours than is in theirs by the Vice Chairman and myself request was whereas current road access will be maintained for said citizens along with overlooks and motorized access to Glen Falls. That's, if y'all remember what our resolution, this is a new line added to the Macon County Board that we did put in. So gentlemen, you've heard this concerns, and I can give you some background information for the folks that's here. Everybody got a copy of the map, I take it, gentlemen, that I emailed everybody showing that.
Mr. Chairman, if I may,
you may.
In accordance with the Highlands Town Board, I did receive a call this afternoon from the mayor. He wanted to be here to show his support, but he has other obligations. Actually having a meeting with Alderman this town, but he wanted me to make sure that we understood that they were unanimous in their support, and he supported it as well. I just wanted to read that.
is that outside the city limits up there?
Oh yeah, show that.
Nobody has anything to do with the town.
No, that's just
But it had nothing to do with us either.
They didn't have to do anything with us either, except that we could either.
The area description for those present that might not be familiar with Overflow is a wilderness study area consisting of approximately 3,200 acres located in Macon County. The area is accessible to State Highway 106, Forest Service Road 79, and the Bartram Trail. The area contains headwaters of the West Fork of the Overflow Creek and ranges from 2,500 to 4,000 feet in elevation. It includes upland oak forests with some cove hardwoods and white pine. Most timber stands are 60 to 80 years old. Heavy recreational use of this area includes hunting, fishing, hiking, dispersed camping, and backpacking. Forest Service Road 79 is open year-round. Development Level 3, Mr. Wilkins can tell us what that means, runs for approximately 1.75 miles into the middle of the study area and accesses the popular Glen Falls trailhead. On the west, southwest, and northeastern boundaries of the area are multiple private subdivisions with 1 to 5 acre tract sizes. So just to give everybody a general of what we're talking about. So we'd like to welcome Mr. Martin from the Wilderness Society. Mr. Martin, you have the floor.
Just start by saying that Michael and Congressman Schuler's office and Senator Hagan's office, many of us have met multiple times already about this area. It has been maintains wilderness since 1987. when it was designated a wilderness study area. The road that goes into there now is not even in the study area, so road access is currently in there, will not be affected.
Is that the blue valley?
That's the blue valley. So we, when we last met, with the Glen Falls, we all took a tour out for the day, and Ronnie was there in the meeting. We all agreed what we could do to make this, get everyone in the comfort zone about this place. And one of the first things that we all agreed on, and that we had no problem with, was that the road stayed open. Especially the road down to Glen Falls. Glen Falls Road, Forest Service has invested into that area, especially since some of the accidents that have happened there over the last couple of years. Certainly can appreciate being able to get down in there and to get people out of an area after they get hurt with mechanized equipment. That isn't prohibited under the Wilderness Act anyway. If a person is hurt in a wilderness area, is seriously injured in a wilderness area, all it takes is approval from the regional forester's office, and that's usually a quick process, and they get something in there. Fires can fall in wilderness areas, that's not a problem either. They can have multiple situations. Forest Rock Wilderness, for example, 2 summers ago, had a big fire in it, and Forest Service went in with helicopters to stop that fire until it was so dry. The reason that we need to support our county commissioners on this is because Congressman Schuler's office is interested in a bill. We haven't had a bill in North Carolina since 1987, so this will be the first bill since '84. This will be the first wilderness bill in 26 years. So Congressman Schuler would like to go forward with a bill. We have another area out by Asheville on the Blue Ridge Parkway that the Macon County Commissioners passed a unanimous resolution on 2 weeks ago. The reason I say this is that Congressman Schuler wants to make sure the county government is supportive of this idea. For him to go forward with a piece of legislation, I think he wants you all to support that. And feel like he has the means to support. I think the Highlands Town Board is a good example of, all of that's not in city limits. That is a place that is so close to Highlands and so dear to the Zahner family and to many people who knew the Zahners and people in Highlands for years have worked to protect that area. That is just it's a critical piece of land for a lot of people. And I think the town and David Wilkins knows just value what that is. The North Carolina Barking Trail Society passed a unanimous resolution in favor of it. So that was at their last board meeting back in September. I was present at that meeting and on the board of the North Carolina Barking Trail Society. What else? Highlands Audubon, Russ is here from Highlands Audubon. If Jeff has anything to say tonight, that'd be great. But the Zahner family has been extremely supportive of this, and of course, we'd love to see Bob honored in this way. So that's really, I would be happy to answer questions about this, but I hope that does clear it up.
Well, just if you'll just stay in place and welcome Mr. Wilkins and Mike. We know the Forest Service position after our discussion that the Forest Service is very careful about taking positions one way or the other, but there might be some technical things that you could answer in some of the questions you have for the board. When I've met with some folks today and talked with some folks, but what I struggle with is somebody tell me it's been this since 1984. To me, we're just talking about a name change. I don't know.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
First off, the Forest Service, and we have no position on the merits of the proposal, both by Brent or the commission. But just, generally it's a wilderness study area. It's not a wilderness. That's why, the road is accessed. There's actually a second road out there with gated and wildlife opening. Normally in wilderness, you don't have roads unless the proposal is made to be something different. So you don't do active wildlife management for like just game species. For threatened or endangered type species, you do some active stuff. It has a couple of other trails. It has a primitive campsite or two that's been developed with like a picnic table, a fire ring, a lantern pole. You don't have that kind of thing in the wilderness. The legal congressional designation is like untrammeled by man, and so we manage it in a more primitive state. We usually limit group size. by code of federal regulations. In this region, it's usually 12 people to group size. So there are some things since that designation, there's no timber management. There's not a lot of active management. It's managed under our land management plan for primitive type recreation as a whole, and then a little more active in that middle zone where there's fishing and camping. It's a long, pot there. So there would be, there is some difference between study area and the wilderness, and so that was something important.
To me, and Mike, that answers the question I was going to ask a minute ago. The issue is not whether or not we'll go in and put out a fire. The issue is not whether somebody gets hurt, we'll go in and get them. The issue is, what am I giving up by changing the name? That's the issue. It's pure and simple, the issue. And what would you think, and you may not know, but what would you think if nothing happens and it remains a wilderness, what's it called? Study area. What changes?
Well, that almost puts me in a position of being pro or con.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Firefighting is a little different. Currently we maintain the trails with chainsaws and things like that. If it's wilderness, it's all primitive means, crosscut saws, firefighting similar. As far as initial attack, that you can ramp up that to a degree with some other authorities. But Brent might could speak. If I speak to that too far,
yeah, I don't want you to. And I'm not trying to put you in a bad spot. What I'm trying to get at is, and I'm all for honoring Mr. Zonning. I'm not opposed to that at all. What I am concerned about, and I've done a lot of pondering on this over the past day or so, and answered a bunch of phone calls. What I am concerned about is what we are giving up.
You're not giving up anything.
Well, it sure sounds like we are.
What you're giving up is a study area designation, because what happens...
And I no longer can maintain the roads the same way.
No longer put vehicles on.
Now that you said that yourself.
No, that's not true.
Okay,
that is not
keep
true.
going. I'm willing to listen. I'm looking for that assurance.
The roads that are in there now will not be closed.
They're double pass.
They're double.
I've been in there many times. You can pass coming and go.
Nor will the campsites. The campsites will not be. The campsites are completely maintained. Mike was out on the meeting we had with Forest Service. Congressman Schuler's office was there. Senator Hagan's office was there. The Forest Supervisor was there. The current proposal is the roads were never in the wilderness study areas. The roads will not be closed. The study area boundaries right now, the road is outlined. We will expand the road so that those campsites remain there. That is not a problem either. We talked to the Forest Service about it today that we were out. They've invested some money in those campsites. Why would anyone want those campsites closed? So keep the campsites open. That's no problem. You draw a 100-foot buffer around the road so that you can go out 100, or we even discussed 200 today. In case or 500. So whatever is necessary to take care of the campsites that are there. There's no one trying to change that. The difference between a study area and a wilderness area is that the next Congress that comes into office here, who knows who that would be, who knows who's going to win this fall, this area was almost released back into the timber basin in the 90s. When Charles Taylor was Congressman here, he introduced a bill to protect the Craggy Mountains wilderness area, which Congressman Schuler showed interest in protecting. The bill that he wrote, if it had passed, would have released this area as a study area. The study area would have gone right back into the timber. So when you designate an area wilderness, you no longer have to worry about that type of thing happening. Because after that, it is literally going to take an act of Congress to